We get this from ISIS today, now issuing a new threat to attack the West. The terror group releasing a propaganda video, 7 minutes in length, appearing to show the mastermind of the Paris attacks and several others who participated, and other ISIS militants killing captives with beheadings and a single shot to the head, and also plotting terror. ISIS also threatening to attack America's closest ally in Britain. Pete Hegseth, veteran who fought in Iraq and Afghanistan, a Fox News contributor in Minneapolis today. And Pete, good morning to you.
Good morning.
I think what this probably shows more than anything, it was done in Syria, right? We agree on that based on the analysis, is that this is, this is what you can do when you have a safe haven. Go.
Well, that's exactly right. This confirms the greatest concerns so many people have, that it's not just folks in Europe. It's all plotted and planned out of Raqqa, out of Syria. That's where we know a lot of these folks were. We're talking 4 from Belgium, 3 from France, and then 2 Iraq or Syrians were part of those 9 attackers in France. But we now know they were all together in the caliphate. That's where their real citizenship. They gave up being French or Belgian citizens a long time ago, and were able to migrate and make their way to Paris. And this, as we hear reports that over 600,000 of the 1.1 million refugees in Germany are unaccounted for, unregistered. That's an easy pathway right into France. I mean, it reinforces the concerns that so many of us have, that there is a pipeline right now for radicals both to get to the Islamic State, but then to also use their passports and use the lack of knowledge we have about them to get back into Europe.
Well, they speak the language, and they do have that passport, as you just mentioned.
Fluent English.
How concerned should the Brits be now? David Cameron, apparently there's an image of him toward the end of this tape, and they mention
crosshairs.
The Tower Bridge in London. And, you know, you saw the deadly success they had in Paris. So
that's
how
right.
concerned would Cameron be?
Well, obviously, they're still concerned in France because they're extending the state of emergency for another month now. I know David Cameron is very concerned, and you look at all the signals there. There's no reason why there couldn't be, unfortunately, a UK-based attack, just like the one in Paris. Clearly, that was planned, plotted months and months in advance, sent over for that purpose. The fear is that something like that could be, cells could be in place to commit something like that right now, and this is a foreshadowing of it. You know, these communities, France, Belgium, the UK, have had a massive silent Muslim invasion for a long time. They've been trying to keep a lid on the radicalized aspect, but as you said at the top, Bill, the haven they have in Syria has emboldened these elements to exploit the migrant crisis, and they could have a cell right now in the UK, and I gotta believe they're scrambling and desperate, as they have been, to make sure they have the intelligence to identify if something like that would be
the phrase they use is anytime, anywhere. St. Paul's Cathedral was also mentioned on that 17-minute tape.
Yeah.
2 final questions here. Why is it out now? Do we know?
They don't know now why it's out. You know, frankly, they haven't put out as many propaganda videos, ISIS. We've done some damage to their propaganda cell. But there's no sense of the timing. Maybe potentially a foreshadowing of a future attack.
Okay, one final question. When I see this and you see what happened in Paris, I think about places like Libya, where you can gather right now without obstruction. And I think it was General Jack Keane who said a few weeks ago there are at least 10,000 loyalists in Libya right now. So now, Pete, you start to see where the next front is opened up. And there you can argue and see again in Libya, that's a safe haven, is it not?
It sure is, or Afghanistan with its growing safe havens. But with Libya, the ability to get into Europe quickly through Greece or elsewhere, or through Germany. Right now, Germany's just an entry point. These folks aren't all looking to stay in Germany. They can easily go to Belgium or to France. Those are porous borders. They don't know where these refugees are. Many of them are using multiple identities and multiple passports, not all for nefarious regions, but they have no idea where so many of these people are. And they can go back to safe havens, as you said, in Libya, in Syria, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, to plot and plan, as we saw through this video. So this shows the depth of our enemy, the disgusting nature of what they're willing to do, how dedicated they are to their caliphate, where their only real citizenship lies, and how much France and Germany and the UK are going to have to be on high alert as this threat persists.
One of the killers on this video apparently is 20 years old, the youngest, and 7 of the attackers, 4 from Belgium, 3 from France, all spoke fluent French. Pete, thank you. It is on our radar yet again now. Pete Hegseth there live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Thank you.